Well, once again, it's way too late, and I feel like I have to do another one of these. This is a really long one, but I don't think I'm going to be able to play tomorrow night because I got to work long hours, but so I might as well get this going. I think this one's about 20 minutes or so. It's Floodgate. Floodgate's a very popular level. There's a lot of good games that go on this level. I guess it's just the layout. Better players just like it for some reason. There's a lot of vehicle play, but then there's a lot of areas where, you know, people on foot have a lot to say about what goes on. Here we've got a bunch of people that are cooperating to wear out an EMP mine. If you see an EMP mine, you should get up on your hoverboard repeatedly and let it knock you over until it runs out of charges. That's a good quick way to get rid of it. The control of the map went back and forth on this match a lot. Right now we've got most of the map. Red has the flood. The flood node's gonna determine a lot of what happens here, as it often does. Got a few good kills on this map. On this match, that was a pretty good one. Ice 2 Decon? Yeah, I don't think I've seen him before. Don't think I'm gonna make this one. No, nope, not quite. I think I just killed the orb carrier, but didn't live long enough to make any use of that. So nothing's changed there. We still control. We've got all the map now except for enemy prime, which is good. Just taking a look to see if, just in case the nuke comes up while I'm sitting there. I don't really time the nuke. If you memorize the, there's a certain period of time before all these power-ups come up. I think for the nuke it might be 120 seconds maybe, but you can use that timer up in the upper left-hand corner if you want to keep a pretty accurate picture of when that thing's going to come up. I don't bother with that. I just, I got a setting set so the announcer informs me when it does come up, and I check it whenever I get a chance, but I like to look at what's going on in the map to decide what's going on rather than trying to anticipate a power-up, because quite often you find, I think that's just gonna lead you into a protracted fight over that power-up while more important things go on elsewhere.
Roadkill.
Attack the enemy core.
And I think I actually got a point or two off the core there, but wasn't a really great play. This right here, this kind of a fight, I really feel like I need to get in closer, because what's going to happen is if the other guy knows what he's doing, which this guy does, he's going to get out, use his Avril on you, and then when you jump out to avoid his Avril, he's going to jump back in his Darkwalker and finish you off. If you're close enough to him, you can anticipate that and jump up there and steal his Darkwalker from him. Didn't manage at that time. If I'd been a little bit quicker, I might have done it.
Attack the floodgate node.
I was going to go forward, but well, I was kind of hoping the orb would come up here. I'm telling the guy with the orb, please cap that node so we can use the orb to take center, and he did, which is good of him.
Attack the center node.
So, well, had to take out that attacking Viper, but we're going to take a shot at center. Well, I was going to take a shot at center, but now our prime's under attack, so I kind of feel like I need to go cover that a little bit. This was about a week ago, so I don't really remember how this went. I'm going to take a shot at center or flood one. Okay, well, I don't see flood center happening, not with all that stuff coming out of there. I think I did go after center after all, yeah. Yeah, I remember this. This was a real nice play here. It's not really recommended to go after center on foot with the orb, but you know, you can do it. I wouldn't normally try it if I thought it was going to be that hairy, but you know, you have to go. You have to deal with what you come across. Anyway, we lost it immediately right again afterwards, so I wasn't real happy about that. You know, it's nice to go through all that hairy shit and still accomplish something, but then, you know, then it falls immediately again right after, and you feel like, oh well, what the hell did I do that for? I'm gonna make another orb run here.
I've got the orb.
Going after center again. Who is that? Smirnoff? No, I can't. Hold still. Sniper HF, that's him. Yeah, there we go. I think we might get this one too. Maybe. Yep, there we go. Maybe we'll hold on to it this time. Uh-oh. Yeah, red nuke comes right in, so there you go. Oh, yeah, held it for a couple seconds. Now it went red again, yeah. Back and forth. So now we're driven back to our prime, and the flood node's ticking down. See, at this point, with 20 seconds on the flood, you really need to get over there and do something about that. You know, too often players will ignore the flood. You know, they'll think, oh, 20 seconds, somebody will get it. No. 20 seconds on the flood, you need to go over there. You know, I don't care if they're taking prime. You need to go get the flood, because that's 20 points right there. You know, even if they get the prime, they're not necessarily gonna make it to the core. But if they hold flood to 60 seconds, they're getting 20 points. And here I am in the Nightshade, doing very badly. I don't have any really good strategies for the Nightshade. I kind of get in it when there's nothing else to do, and I kind of feel like somebody needs to get into it, and I'm the only option. But at this point, I'm just being hunted by some guy with an Avril, and he's going to get me before I can get away. And I feel bad enough about that I'm going to type in I hate the Nightshade. So. But I like to run the orb. 15 seconds on the flood. We need to take the flood. I think we're going to lose it here. 10, 9, yeah, I'm going to make a wrong turn here. This red guy grabbed that elevator that I was planning on using to get there. Oh, I lucked out on this case because the flood got taken before I got there even. So all I had to do was cap it. That was nice. And I'm left having to take the Nightshade. Now, here's one thing I know how to do with the Nightshade. When some bozo comes driving up with this thing, you just drive up where he's not paying attention and drop an EMP mine right next to him, and then he loses his vehicle. That's fun to do. It's best to do with, like, the Darkwalker or a tank, you know. There's no tank on this level, though. And if our teammates had been on the job there, they would have taken that vehicle. I think I'm going to lose the Nightshade here. Yeah, there's an EMP mine right there. That's a really stupid thing to do. Always feel stupid. If you lose the Nightshade to an EMP mine, I kind of feel like you're responsible for it because it could be stolen. The lock that's on it is going to wear out after several seconds, and the other team could take it. So I'm going to go right back there immediately and see what I can do to get it back. It's still locked. I can't get into it, and that EMP mine is there. I'm going to wear that EMP mine down. They're going to get the flood while I'm doing this, but I really don't want to abandon this Nightshade. It's still locked. I'm going to use rockets to knock it back until it unlocks. Yeah, there we go. So we did get it back. I think I'm just going to lose it almost immediately, but at least I'm going to keep red from getting it. If the other side gets your Nightshade, they may use it, but then again, they may just drive it way the hell and back somewhere and keep it out of fire so that you won't have it the rest of the match. It depends on who gets it. Okay, well, there's no orb and no vehicle, so I'm just going to go up here and attack the flood, which is again in red hands. I think we mostly stayed ahead in the score during this match. Yeah, and I'm sitting here firing into the air because I thought I saw the Nightshade over there. But since he didn't pop up immediately, so I'm gonna, yeah, as I was saying, I'm just gonna immediately turn back and start firing on the flood, because that is what I'm here for, and we're gonna take that down.
Attack the flood.
Red's still there fighting for it, but we kept from getting their 20 points at least for another minute or so.
Blue core is
So
secure.
back to the spawning back here. Got some red guy over here being a nuisance. I'm not sure where he went, but I'm going to grab this orb and get the heck out of here. He's probably back there killing our vehicles.
Attack the floodgate node.
Nope, there he is. He didn't quite get me. Took a few points off me. Center's down. 40 seconds on this thing. I had a chance here to take the flood. Got a lucky shot, killed the orb carrier who was holding it for them, but then got killed immediately afterwards before I could cap, so not so good. Hopefully these two are going to take that orb straight to flood because it's down to 15 seconds now. And yeah, there we go. So we're paying attention here. A lot of winning this level is about paying attention to flood. You know, when it gets down to 30, 20 seconds, you don't want to be assuming that somebody else is going to take care of it. You need to go take care of it yourself. Here's somebody camping the nuke. Runny Babbitt. That'll take care of that dirty camper. I'd stay here and camp it myself, but I kind of feel like I need to go over here and do something about center. I'm going to die before I do, but maybe I should have just camped the nuke there. No, I think I should have went after center. It would have been better if I could have took it. I don't think the nuke's going to spawn for a little bit yet anyway. Let's see, we got 8 seconds left. Yeah, we might get this flood. Let me get back here and 2, 1. Yep, there we go.
Red core flooding. Attack the center node.
Oh, we've got our nightshade here. That's good.
Attack the enemy prime.
And there's the red nightshade trying to take over. He was probably getting ready to drop an EMP mine there.
Attack the enemy prime node.
No, it looks like he dropped a spider mine. Okay,
Attack the center node.
that makes sense. That guy's a little lost. A little offsides. No, well, red's about to take center, so he could have done something there. I kind of feel like I ought to defend prime.
Attack the floodgate node. Attack
But
the center node.
flood is ticking down. It's down to 47 seconds, which is still a little bit of time, so I'm still over here defending prime. Okay, we took it back, so now I'm just going to hang on to prime here for a little bit.
Defend the floodgate node.
So we're not really controlling the map for a lot of this, but I think one thing that makes this a popular map is that you can win despite that. And this, of course, is the kind of kill that I really love. You know, knock them off their hoverboard and then just take your time about finishing them off. Adds a little suspense to it. Maybe I won't kill you. Oh, I guess I will after all. Yeah. How shall I finish you off? I think I'll use a flat cannon. Yeah, there we go. I should have been healing that node instead of jumping around shooting those people. The orb carrier slipped in behind me and took it. I just saw the nuke spawn, but somebody got there before me. And I could go after center or flood at this time, but I've seen one or two other people going for center, so I decided to go to flood, do what I could there, and didn't do much. Just killed one guy. At this point, yeah, I'm ignoring flood, which is something I really shouldn't do because it's down to 23 seconds.
Attack the floodgate.
And I'm sitting here typing stuff. Oh right, yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I noticed a note earlier from another player who said he got the nuke, and he had positioned himself over at enemy prime, and he was hoping that we could take center so that he could nuke the enemy prime. That never came off. Would have been nice if it had, but at that point,
5
the
minutes
folks
remaining.
getting hold of our orb were being very reluctant to go take it to center. They were feeling like they needed to hang around prime with it, which I didn't really agree with. I felt like they either needed to take that thing to flood or center one, because we were doing good enough at holding prime without that. We didn't really need them hanging around the prime with the orb. We needed that orb to be going forward and taking something that's going to win us the game. And I'm basically typing messages in here trying to encourage them to take it forward, preferably with a tow, because I don't think they're going to get too far on foot. And they did eventually make an effort, but it's also at this point the red's getting a little bit better at taking over the nodes. So yeah, I think here they're going to make an attempt at center, but they're not going to make. We're not going to hold prime long enough to let them do it, or they're going to lose the orb anyway. But anyway, I do think that is the kind of effort they do need to be making. I don't think we're going to be able to make another effort after this one, because we need to be looking at flood again, because it's ticking down. 37 seconds on that. I might head off in that direction. That's the thing about this map, is that you constantly have to be looking at the timer on the flood as well as the prime on your side. 19 seconds, 18 seconds. I really ought to be over there, but I see it is under attack, and we really haven't been doing too good at holding prime, so I decided to assist with that instead. I think we're going to lose the flood at this point. Really should have went over to flood that time. Now, you could lose this match if you do that too many times, if you ignore flood when you shouldn't. Easily. We lost one earlier today because of that. You get too fixated on the prime and they just take flood a few times and that's it. Yeah, they've got us outscored by 1 point. I think this is the high point for them. They've got everything now. Well, except for flood, yeah, but they could have won it at this point. I think we're going to shoot down prime now. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And we're holding flood. We might even get another flood on them. This is going to come down to overtime eventually. Which at this point, at overtime, we'd be at a disadvantage here because they've got the whole map pretty much. We'd lose this in overtime. I think one of the other players is going to make a comment to that. Going to make a comment to that effect. He's going to urge us to hold on to flood, because if we don't get the 20 points off the flood, we're going to lose this in overtime. Which I probably have to agree.
Attack the floodgate node.
And I'm going to grab the nightshade and try to do something with the flood just to make sure we do get it. Because we're down to about 1 minute, 20 seconds here. And if we don't get a point advantage, we're going to lose this in overtime. We're just going to time right out. Well, it's looking kind of even at this point. At this point, we might not even need flood. You see, it changes pretty quickly. We've now got control of most of the map. If it goes into overtime now, yeah, point advantage our side, definitely. But I'm going to lay down a few mines here. I don't have a really good set of I don't have a lot of really good mine patterns that I have. I got the EMP on one side, spider mine on the other side. I'd like to have a spider mine back over there, and then maybe a shield right over the node. But run a little short of time once in a while, so I'm just going to put a shield on it. And that's what goes wrong with the shield, is if you lay a shield and then die right afterwards. We're going to be okay in this instance because it was already timing down pretty much, so we're going to get our 20 points anyway. But that shield I laid is still there.
9, 8, 7,
And red is getting control of flood now, so that shield I laid, they're going to get some benefit out of it now. So, and I really ought to go back over there and try to take flood because, you know, what the heck, I'm responsible for that. But and I might as well do it because the red orb is stranded over at our prime and we've got center, so I think I'm going to head over to flood. No? Oh, I'm going to get hold of the nuke here. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to be totally irresponsible here. I see our prime headed toward flood, and we just got flood, so I don't feel so bad about that. I'm just going to just flagrantly ignore my own rules and take this nuke over to prime. And use it to take prime. And you know, it's not a graceful strategy or anything. It's just brute force, basically. I'm just taking control of the map so that the timeout advantage will go to us. And if God forbid something goes wrong on this end, we do have flood. So, but this is going to be over with long before then, and that's it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good math. Have a good evening.